Why most businesses fail. First of all, I'm going to talk about who I am. I'm a young entrepreneur who's documenting his journey, but most of the information I took for this video is based on the E-Myth book plus some personal experiences. So, first of all, we're going to talk about a lot of businesses fail on their first years. I mean, there's an 80% fail rate in 15 years and almost 50% in 5 years. So half of the businesses of the startups that start now in 5 years are gonna fail. There's a couple of reasons why this is happening. First of all, I want to talk about type of founders, technicians. These are people that already have a skill and they want to do a business around their skill. For example, if you are a programmer and you already know how to program and you want to create a business around programming. Then there is the managers. These are people who is more focused on organizing everything but never executing at all. I mean, you're creating systems for a business that doesn't exist yet, and they're usually live in the past and how organize these systems that for a business that doesn't it's not working yet. And then the other type of founders are the entrepreneurs. The entrepreneurs are always looking to the future and how to grow their business, but he looks so much into the future that doesn't think about the present. So these three type of founders, I mean, every founder has like a predominant one of these types. Usually every type lives in a different time. Like when the manager is always more focused on the past and how to optimize and create systems for a business that doesn't work yet, the technician only know how to work and how to execute that task itself, but he never like stop and look into the future how to manage the business or how to improve it. And he the only thing he knows and focus is in how to execute the task he's good at. And then there's the entrepreneur. The entrepreneur is always looking into the future. He's always looking what is the next thing, what is the next business or the next strategy to apply to their businesses. And these all founders are usually in the infancy stage of the business. And then we're going to talk about the stages of a business. There's 3 stages: the infancy, the adolescence, and the adulthood. First of all, I want to talk about the infancy. In this stage, the business is literally just you. If you miss a day, your business won't do nothing at all. In this stage, your business is working, but you're doing all the job. It's like you're being self-employed and working towards a goal, obviously, but this time you are your business, basically. Then we have the adolescence. This is a key part of a business life cycle. This part you have to execute it well, because it's when you're looking to have someone else, to hire someone, to expand your business. Your business is doing great by yourself, but you need help, right? So you can scale and focus on more productive things. This one will define if your business goes to adulthood or goes back to infancy, okay? Let's take a look. Imagine your workload is like a cake, right? So right now you're alone, so you are eating all this cake every day, like you're doing all the workload. But this is a key part. There's two approaches when you hire someone. First approach is abdication. When you hire someone, and by abdication, what you're doing is just take your workload, and divide it in half, okay? So there's no order, you're just giving random tasks you don't want to do. There's not a standardized way of doing things, and the employee has to learn by himself. So this will create a snowball effect. As you keep hiring people, that will end up with your business in a complete mess where everyone is doing their thing as they learn to do and not with any protocol at all. So the result of this is probably getting back to an infancy stage of their business, doing all by yourself. Then there's the other approach when you hire someone, is delegation. When you delegate someone is when you give a set of specific tasks to do, teach them how to do them properly, and there's a system around your business. So when you hire someone, he already knows how and what to do. So imagine you just hire one person, but by delegation, you're just giving there's a specific task. You can divide it in half, but these people that you hire will know exactly what to do and not wait for you to say, oh, okay, today you will do X, okay? So that's the huge difference between delegation and abdication, okay? So then it goes to adulthood. If you do well to your business, it will pass to adulthood, okay? If your business goes with abdication, probably this will end up going back to the infancy stage of your business, because when you don't have this structure, this will create a snowball effect. And as I said here, this is probably getting back to an infancy stage of the business by doing all by yourself, because you will create a whole mess with your business doing this. So let's go, wait, I'm lost here. Let's go to adulthood, okay? First of all, we're gonna talk about the franchise system. The franchises usually demonstrate high longevity, with research showing roughly 85% success rates after 5 years, comparing with the almost 50% of startup failure rate in 5 years. While many businesses fail by year 10, franchises tend to perform better due to established systems. The success rate varies significantly by sector, but basically around 90% of franchises report profitability within 2 years, okay? So why these people are recreating their business over and over again, and it's working every time and exactly how you expect to, okay? What is different from your independent business? Okay, they already have an established brand. Usually, the franchises usually have an established brand that people know when you enter what you will get exactly as they expect, and they have systems. Everything is done a certain way with a certain process, even in the smallest details. That's exactly why it works so well, because they make an organized approach on how things should be. So now we're gonna talk about the business development process. First of all, we're gonna talk about the foundation of this process. Innovation. When the creativity is applied to a process, doing something and not just an idea, when you try new things and actually do it and not just think about it, okay? Basically it's apply your new ideas and do them, okay? The franchise models have brought a different approach about innovation by recognizing it's not just the product commodity itself that demands innovations. The process by which it's sold needs too. For example, You can innovate like you're cold calling and you already have a phrase to begin the call, and you can change that. So you can try your innovating in that example. And there's a lot of other examples, but it's basically apply new things to your business. But innovation means nothing without quantification, okay? It's the process of measuring metrics. So suppose that you innovate, right? But if you don't have a metric, have a data about your innovation itself, you won't have any approach, and how you won't know how to take the decisions based on that innovation you make. So quantification, measure everything, will help you a lot with the systems. And last but not least, orchestration. When you already know that, as I told before, the example of the cold call, suppose that your metrics are way better with certain phrase. So orchestration will do eliminate the discretion of choice at operating level. Okay, so basically, coming back to the example of the cold call, suppose that you try a new phrase and the new phrase goes like really well in your cold calls. Then you will create a system, or you will document like this phrase has certain book call rate, and that will help to your business. So you will always do this thing without having to think about it. It will become like a standard. That's basically what is orchestration. And so once you already innovate and quantify the result, it's time to orchestrate your business. So now going back to the business development process, this process itself has 7 steps, okay? Primary aim, strategic objective, organizational strategy, management strategy, people strategy, marketing strategy, and system strategy, okay? Primary aim. So your primary aim is the vision necessary to bring your business to life and your life to your business. You have to ask yourself, how's the life you wanna live? How does it look like? And how do you wish to be your life on a day-to-day basis? And all these questions, how your socials, how will be your life every day, how will look. You have to ask yourself all these questions, so you will then have your primary aim, okay? Then is the strategic objective. The strategic objective is basically a clear statement of what your business has to ultimately do to achieve your primary aim. It's not a business plan, it's a product of your life plan, okay? As well as your business strategy and your end plan. Your life plan shapes your life and the business that is to serve it. At the beginning of your business, any standards are better than no standards. So you need to know the following things. How big is your vision? You will have to know what your gross profit are going to be, your pre-tax profit, after profits. You will have to describe exactly how your business will look like in your vision, okay? So from, as I told, like the income thing, what type of business are you in? I mean, when people are asked this question, they usually say the product and not the outcome or the feeling that makes the people this business. For example, like if you are in the cloth industry, what type of business are you in? You shouldn't say like the product of commodity itself. You can say like, I make people more secure with my clothes, okay? So the important things about your business or about any business is the feelings that they generate, and not like the product or commodity itself, okay? Then the third step of the business development process is organizational strategy, okay? most companies organize around personalities rather than around functions, okay? And around people rather than accountabilities or responsibilities. And this probably end up in chaos. To avoid this chaos, you have to think about which type of organization is the best for your business. Do an organizational chart about your ideal situation in business. So, as I told before, your organizational chart flows down from your strategic objective, which in turn flows down from your primary aim, okay? So, why, if you are only you, suppose like right now you just have your business, you're the only one, and why it would make sense like to make an organizational chart if you're just you right now. So even though it doesn't sound that coherent, it makes a lot of sense when you think about it, because if you're ready, even though right now you're doing all these jobs at once, whenever you hire someone, you already know which tasks are going to do and who he or she is going to respond to, okay? So even though we are one or two people right now, you should divide all the tasks in the people that are right now in your company within your organizational chart that is part of your business vision, okay, of how you expect your business to grow or to be in the future. Fourth step is organizational strategy. You don't need to depend on great people, experts, to implement successfully your management strategy. The system will become your management strategy. The management system will transform your people problems into an opportunity by orchestrating the process by which management decisions are made, while eliminating the need for such decisions wherever and whenever it's possible. So you don't need the best people. Obviously, you can and should look for the best people, but you don't need to depend on them. You have to depend on your system. You have to create a system to explain how and when and what task your business is doing, and that's the thing of the system. You don't need to depend on great people. You obviously always want the best people possible, but you don't need to depend on them. You have to create a system so there's a standard ways to do things in your business. 5 people strategy. You can always get the people you want, but you can create an environment in which doing it is more people than not doing it. Take people seriously. Explain them your vision and truly engage them with it. They're not just working, they're part of something bigger, okay? So you have to take your people seriously and explain them why they are working with you and what are you looking to do in the world with your business, okay? And you have to communicate you through documented systems and through his warm, moving, and positive manner. So marketing strategy, okay? Your marketing strategy starts and lives and dies with your customer, okay? There's 2 pillars of a successful marketing strategy. Demographics is the science of marketplace reality. It tells you who buys. And psychographics is the science of perceived marketplace reality. And I have like this little example right here. Like, suppose this, right? Demographics will tell you, imagine like a luxury brand. Demographics, it will tell you that poor people that pretend to be rich buys you. But psychographic, the perceived marketplace reality, people perceive like these people that buys these brands are rich. That's the difference between demographics and psychographics. if you know who your customer is, you can determine why he buys, okay? The customer you got is one hell of a lot less expensive to sell than the customer you don't have yet. And that's why the process of lead generation, lead conversion, and client fulfillment is so critical to grow your business. And that's what marketing is, the whole process and not just a part of it. So the last step of the business development project is system strategy, a conjunction of parts that work together for the same objective, and each part action affects the other ones. There's 3 types of systems: hard system, inanimate and living things, for example, I don't know, the color of the office, how it's painted. Soft systems, animate living or ideas. I mean, in the book they talk about like Hamlet could be a soft system. The book itself is a soft system because there's an idea, okay? So the information system, they provide information about the interaction of the other two. So information system can tell you how these systems are interacting within each other. So that's the videos. Thank you for watching, and I hope you liked it. And if you have any idea for the next video, please comment it and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching.